What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Logan. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing. If you've already subscribed, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. Also, consider leaving a like and leaving a comment letting me know what you think about this pair down below. So now we're going to jump right into it. As you already know, we're looking at the Adidas 4D Futurecraft, which is actually a re-release and basically a restock from the 2018 release when these first came out. These are the basically exact same colorway. I haven't been able to see any differences between this pair and a pair from 2018, although I will say this is my first pair of Futurecrafts that I've actually been able to get. So the box opens kind of like a Yeezy box, also like other 4D boxes. Plain white tissue, and then we have the sneakers. There's nothing else in this box, just the plain white tissue, so nothing exciting in there, no extra laces or anything like that. It also has this kind of threaded yarn for the hang tag, which is Adidas' initiative to step away from plastics. They also have these on the new Yeezys. They also have the RFID chip in there, which I'm not sure, but you probably can't see it, but I can see it because of the light. So you can tell that these are real by just scanning that. Always cool little technology stuff going on. But these are basically the exact same shoe that released in 2018. However, these are much less limited than those were. I remember trying to get a pair of Futurecrafts for the longest time, and it was impossible. They did a bunch of consortium releases with retailers, Invincible, Kith, there were a ton of different ones, and all of those are fantastic, and the Daniel Arsham as well, which is a grail of mine. And all of those are still over $1,000, and you can actually pick these up off of GOAT or StockX or wherever else probably for under retail, which is surprising but also refreshing. I don't mind. I'm happy to finally have a pair in my own collection, and I'm going to wear these a lot. But if you're interested in purchasing these directly from Adidas, they actually have pretty much all of the sizes still available. You just have to download the Confirmed app, and they're basically just sitting there ready for you to purchase them. StockX lists these as having a $180 retail price, but that is not true. The retail price from every retailer that I've seen has been $220, which is still less than what they used to be. So when these first released in 2018, they had a retail price of $300, which was pretty expensive. We've kind of gotten used to the higher retails with Yeezys, the 700s being $300, which now they're starting to come down. But $220 is much more manageable for a pair of running shoes than $300 is. But to be honest with you, you weren't going to be able to get them for $300 anyways because they were so incredibly limited. They've obviously stepped up production as well as reduced costs to be able to sell these for $220 and for them to still be sitting. And although the hype is definitely away from Adidas Ultra Boost as well as 4D, it's definitely still a super cool silhouette to have in your rotation as a collector or as a sneakerhead, because you don't see 4D soles really ever. I see tons of Yeezys, tons of Jordans, tons of SBs. I never see anybody wearing 4Ds, and it's definitely something different. And it's still very new technology. If you don't know the way that these soles are printed, it's basically like a 3D printer with the addition of light, and light basically changes the composition of the resin, and this is basically through light that these soles are made. And Adidas' idea with it is that the soles can be custom made to individuals' feet. So if you have two different sized feet, you can get one in a 8.5 and one in a 9. They're not quite there yet, but that is their goal as far as I'm aware, or at least that was the goal initially, was to have a more customized fit for your sneakers. So now we'll take a closer look at the actual sneaker itself. Just plain black laces, very similar to what you would see on Ultra Boost, if not exactly the same as what you would see on Ultra Boost. We also have the linen green or ash green hit for the Adidas logo on the top of the tongue, which is also reflective, a nice little touch. And then an all black prime knit upper with the exception of the 3 stripes, which are printed with some type of ink that is also reflective. Nice little subtle touch, but you can see that they're gray. And then the toe box, you can see that the prime knit pattern is very open. You can see the cardboard underneath. You'll also be able to see whatever color sock you're wearing and or your toes if you choose to wear these without socks. It's also fully breathable throughout the whole thing. I feel like these are more open and breathable than any pair of Ultra Boosts that I've owned, and I've owned a lot of Ultra Boosts. It's also slightly reflective throughout the whole shoe, where you can see little specks of reflective material through the upper. Then we move down to the midsole, which is in the signature 4D ash green or linen green color. Personally, I would have liked a black or a cream-colored 4D printed sole for this pair, but I understand why they use their signature color. This is also, like I said, basically a retro of the original color. And then the bottom is this black Continental outsole that is very reminiscent also of Ultra Boost. However, it looks like these have been worn considerably, and it looks like they've been worn down, but I've only worn these for about 10 minutes before I filmed this video. So I can't really speak to how well these are going to hold up to actual running, because I have definitely worn down the soles in some of my Ultra Boosts from just wearing them. So I'll be interested to see how this outsole holds up to daily wear. If we look at the insole, take this out in case you're legit checking or whatever. They just come with the standard cardboard insert, and then the insole just has the Futurecraft logo on there. Nothing super fancy or special. A white bottom with the Adidas logo. And then if we take a look at the inside of the sneaker, there really isn't much material between your foot and the outsole, which I'm indifferent to. So if you take the insole out because they're a little bit tight or because you find them more comfortable without the insole, I've heard that you can actually feel air coming up through the bottom, which could be a pro or a con depending on the weather conditions. It may make your feet cold, or it might be great if it's hot out and you get a little bit even more air coming up through the bottom of your sneaker. But it would also open up the elements to water potentially coming up through the bottom as well, because if you run water through this midsole, it literally just comes out the other side. So something to keep in mind while making a decision on whether or not this pair is right for you. I find these to be a little bit narrow and tight. I'm a 9, and I will say that they do feel slightly tight. It's also very difficult to get your foot into here. I know this looks very similar to an Ultra Boost opening, but I will say it is much stiffer and harder to get your foot actually into the shoe than you would imagine with an Ultra Boost. So they are tighter. I probably would have gotten a 9.5. As I said, this was my first pair of Futurecrafts, and as soon as I saw them pop up on the Confirmed app, I didn't even hesitate. I just wanted them. I expected them to be a little bit more limited than they are, but it doesn't bother me any. Overall, I'm super stoked on this because I've always wanted a Futurecraft, and they were just so hyper limited, and the resale prices were always over $1,000, which all of those collaborations are still over $1,000. That Invincible one, the Prism colorway, is so nice. That's definitely a grail, as well as the Daniel Arsham. Super dope collaboration, both of those. I love both of those pairs. The tongue is a little bit different on those pairs. This is much more like an Ultra Boost, where those have a tongue that is separate from the upper, and I think that may be the next step that Adidas should go to, because it looks better and it's a little bit different than what we're used to with Ultra Boost. But I think they're trying to play it safe with this as a reintroduction, and maybe trying to push out more silhouettes with the 4D printed sole, which they've been they've put out quite a few, which I own the ZXs and I own the Alpha Edges, and honestly, neither of those models are very great in my opinion. They're definitely different, but this is something that I would wear every day, and I think that Adidas really needs to get back to that. So maybe they'll be able to switch it up a little bit, but I think they're trying to play it safe and testing the market with an upper that is very reminiscent of the Ultra Boost before they change to something that's even more different. You know, kind of playing the field, seeing how people respond to the 4D, as well as lowering the price. But that's really all I got. I'm stoked on these. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do consider subscribing. Leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you all so much. Good luck on your next cop. Take care.